Like, I would at least have one extra of everything, so that way you're never truly running out of something. And like I said earlier, you know, if you don't want to run to the store quick to buy something, you can put it on your list. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I just kind of wanted to share a video of my stockpile room. And the only reason why I even decided to do this was because with the coronavirus, people are starting to stockpile a little bit more and are kind of panicking in a way. Well, for me, I have actually always been a stockpiler. Ever since we moved into this house, we actually have a canning room. And that's when I really started to stockpile, just to make sure that we never actually ran out of anything. So like basic necessities, like some paper towels, toilet paper, shampoo, conditioner, some food, that kind of stuff. So I figured I would show you guys what my everyday stockpile looks like. So this hasn't changed at all with this coronavirus. This is what I always have on hand. And I would highly recommend you guys doing it if you do have the space, because it is so nice. Because sometimes when you run out of stuff, you don't want to go to the store. You don't. Like, you have sick kids, you're sick, or you just don't want to go. You're too busy to go. And it's really nice to be able to have a little stockpile. Because the thing too is that, like, if you are on a budget, you can't necessarily maybe go right away to get that item because you can't afford to get it until next pay period or whatever it is. I just really highly recommend having at least it doesn't have to be as big of a stockpile as mine. It could be a smaller one, but just having a little bit of extra stuff on hand, and it really helps in times like this. So let's get to it. So this is our canning room. It's a little messy in here right now, but I'll kind of start. This is kind of the whole area of items. So I do have quite a bit. And I'll start over here. So this is our toilet paper. We get ours from Sam's Club. And what I normally do is I always like to have one full one of these unopened is what I do. So we were getting down to it. So we had this one and we had just that top part right there. So I bought an extra one. I always have at least one on hand so that if anything were to happen, we are always set to go. These are just extras, extra napkins and extra paper plates if we need them. These are to make frozen meals if I need to. These come in handy, very well, like really handy. These are all my wipes. So I am running a little bit lower on them. I do like to have this whole area full, but I get our wipes from Sam's Club, and this is probably a box. About a box of wipes is what we have left. So I always make sure I have extra wipes. I always make sure I have an extra high chair and toy cleaner because I use this daily. And then this is just, I don't even know what this is. Oh, this is lotion. So we have lotion and baby wash. This is actually from a baby shower that I just haven't used it yet. But then I always have an extra baby wash. We have extra toothpaste. This actually isn't even the toothpaste that we normally use. What happened was Carson threw it in our cart and I didn't realize it until we went to check out. We always have extra Q-tips. I do buy these at Sam's Club too, so they come in bulk, but I like to at least have one of these. We have sandwich bags. I always like to have two of each. And then like this, these are our gallon bags. These are on our list for the next time we go grocery shopping because we have one left. And we have one aluminum foil here. We don't use aluminum foil a lot. And we have a full one upstairs. So when I move this upstairs, I'll buy a new one. We have a few paper towels. We don't really use paper towels that often, but it is nice to just have a couple of them on hand because you never know when you need them. We have a huge thing of garbage bags. This comes with 2 huge rolls. Before I buy a new one, I will wait until there's 1 roll left in here downstairs, and then I'll buy a new one. These are just our light bulbs. This gets a little messy over here, but we have OxyClean. I like to have one of these, and I'll wait. So once this one gets about halfway down, I'll put it on our list for the next time, because I do actually keep this in our laundry room. So our jar in our laundry room is always full. Now for these, this is our clothes soap. We use, I think it's, yep, all free and clear. So I always like to have at least one of these on hand. We also have a huge thing of these in our laundry room. So that's why I only like to have one on hand normally, just in case that gets empty. We can at least fill it up and go a while. This is, I think, only half full, but since this was only half full, I bought another one. I also like to have Shout, just in case. And then we have dryer sheets. I've had these for a while. I don't actually use them in our dryer because it leaves residue on your clothes, but I do put them in our camper and stuff, so it's just nice to kind of have those. And Kleenexes are getting actually low here. We only have like 5, and I like to normally have at least 10 Kleenexes, so this will be on our list for next time if we can find them. Now moving up here, I always like to have extra cereal because our kids go through them so quick. So we have, let's see, 4 extra cereals, 2 Rice Krispies. Carson loves Rice Krispies. I like these shredded wheats, and Kaden likes the Cheerios, so we always have at least one of those on hand. Here is where the kids' extra snacks are. So these are Carson's, and these are Kaden's extra snacks. This is just so they don't take up as much room necessarily, and they also have more snacks up here, but I'll get to that. So this is just really for, I have them in baskets, so when we play down here, I can grab them a basket and Carson can pick what he wants. So we always have extra juice. So this is a little more than necessary. And don't forget candy. Candy is just nice to have, especially being pregnant. But we just have some extra juice on hand. I always have extra noodles. I like to have at least 2 of these. Literally any kind of noodles work. I do have more than that right now because I did just buy some, and we're almost out from upstairs. But these are all noodles. It is nice to have them on hand. Extra peanut butter. I always like to have at least 1 down here. Also, we have extra broth. I like to have 1 of each down here, just in case I do decide to make soup. I don't make it very frequently, but sometimes I do. Now these are actually my espresso grounds for my espresso machine. So I normally have at least 1 of these down here. The reason I have 2 is because this one, they're the same exact thing, but this one was like 50 cents cheaper, or even more than that, because it's in a vacuum sealed package. So once this gets empty, I'll put this in it, because why not save a little bit of money? And then just we have an extra barbecue sauce and some meat, some chicken, which is nice to have on hand. I don't normally have that on hand, but I did just go to Sam's Club not that long ago and got some. These are some more kid snacks. I do like to have a couple of kid snacks on hand. Like these are raisins, like these. I don't know if you guys have ever tried these yet. Freeze-dried fruit is a good snack to give your kids because the ingredients is literally the fruit. There's no sugar added into it compared to dried fruit. So these are dried straight cherries, which, where is it? Right here. So these have cherries, sugar, and sunflower oil. So I have learned to actually get freeze-dried instead. The only thing that doesn't have sugar is raisins. Raisins are just raisins. So FYI, if your kids like dried fruit, try the freeze-dried. This is not supposed to be here. So these are actually canned. So this is canned applesauce and canned jellies. This is just from, we went canning. So we did some canning and have that. That's just nice to have on hand too, to have PB&Js and whatnot. This, I only have one of these left, but I am trying to slowly not use this Swiffer liquid. I would rather make my own. So that's why there's only one of those. These are the Mrs. Meyer's multi-surface cleaner. I do use these every day, and I have 3. They were on sale, so I did stockpile them when they were on sale for like $2 or something ridiculous. So I do have 3. I normally at least have 1 or 2 to have an extra one. And then dish soap, I also have 3 dish soaps from the Mrs. Meyer because we don't have a dishwasher, so we go through them pretty quickly. This, I don't really use anymore. I use more natural stuff, so I could probably actually get rid of those. This is just a little dish soap, which I don't normally use Gain. Or, yeah, I normally use Mrs. Meyer's. The reason I have this one is for when we go places, I can just bring a little one to wash bottles and such. Hand sanitizer. I did not buy these before this virus. I have already had these. Downstairs, we have just a toilet and there's no sink, so I've always had a lot of hand sanitizer, and it's nice to have it on hand. So I always have at least one big one of these, and once it gets low, I buy a new one. These, I only have 1 disinfecting wipes because we bought these when we all had the stomach bug because we were going through them like no other. I'm trying to switch these actually to the more natural ones instead of these Clorox wipes. But we normally have at least 2 of these Clorox wipes on hands at all time. I actually just ordered from Grove, and I think I ordered 2 of the, I think it's Method or 7th generation. I'll let you guys know when I get them in, but I normally have 2 of these on hand because you truly never know when you need them. This is just a refill of our, oops, see if you can see it, daily shower spray. That, I normally have at least 1 of those on hand just in case we run out. This is actually what I use now for our room spray instead of Febreze. You put this in a glass bottle with water and you spray it. I always have 1 of these on hand in case we run out. Hand soaps. I normally have more than this on hand, to tell you the truth, but I'm slowly trying to switch over to the Mrs. Meyer's. I used to get Bath & Body Works. Right now I have 4 on hand. Normally I have 6 or more soaps, which is nice because you would buy them in, I don't know, what is it, packs of 4 or 5 or whatever. So now moving on to shampoo. This is my husband's shampoo. He goes through this like no other. So I have 2 for him, and I always make sure I at least have 1 on hand. I always make sure that I at least have 1 extra toilet cleaner on hand. I actually just ordered another one because we're out upstairs, so I have to bring this one upstairs. And this is just an old one. I don't use this anymore, but just to have an extra one on hand, it was really nice to have. I always have an extra dish brush because I don't know why when my husband washes dishes, he destroys these like no other. So I always have at least 1 of those on hand. These we used to use an air freshener. My husband still uses them sometimes. I don't like to use them. So I do have some of these on hand, but I probably won't buy them again. Now we have 2 things of dry shampoo for myself because I go through them like no other. And then these are just my shampoo and conditioners. I like to have at least 1 on hand of them all. When they go on sale, sometimes I will stockpile them a little bit more than other times, but I always at least have 1. As you can see, I have way more than 1 right now. I always have extra makeup and then extra deodorants. I normally have at least 2 extra deodorants, if not more. I get ours from Sam, so I always make sure to have a lot of that. And I do have a couple facial wipes. I do need to buy these again. We get them at Sam's. So that is all of my stockpiling. I do actually stockpile diapers a little bit too. I can actually show you that. So I have diapers in a different spot because they don't fit in there. So in here, this is just underneath our stairs downstairs. I do have a stockpile of diapers here, and then there's some back here. Those are little ones for the newborn. My stockpile is running low just because I am running out of room in here with all of our baby stuff. That is just my normal everyday stockpile that I have. Like I said earlier, it is really nice to have a stockpile. It doesn't even have to be as big as mine, because the reason I started to grow it a little bit is because we do have the room for it right now. We have a canning room. It works perfectly for it. But at the same time, like, I would at least have 1 extra of everything, so that way you're never truly running out of something. And like I said earlier, you know, if you don't want to run to the store quick to buy something, you can put it on your list and then you can get it the next time you go to the store, instead of making all of these frequent trips to the store to get just 1 or 2 items. That's kind of why I started it, because that's what was happening with me. It is nice though, especially with like things like this. I mean, who would have thought that we would all be getting quarantined to our house and you can't really go to the store too much, or you don't really want to go to the store too much because of the virus. So it is just nice to have things stockpiled so you don't have to worry, or like toilet paper shortage, you already have it all set so you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, I figured I would just share that because not everybody stockpiles, and I figured I would give you guys some tips on how I stockpile and how I really like it. I feel like it does save us money, because what I like to do is when things that I use go on sale, I'll buy a couple of them and then I won't have to buy them again for a little while. So I don't know, it's just a good idea to have, especially if you have the room for it. If you don't have the room, I completely understand. When we lived in an apartment before we had kids, we did not have the room for it, but this house, we do have the room. We do have a lot of storage, which is really, really nice. I hope you guys are all doing really well. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me, and it helps me when you like my video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!